All the hunters test their earpieces to ensure they are functioning properly. Meanwhile, Jonho tries repeatedly to call their hero. Just as Daesung finally answers the call, Jonho's frustration spills over as he complains about his current situation. It turns out that Jonho is busy moving into the new house he just purchased. Cutting to the chase, he informs Daesung about the sudden appearance of the new A-rank dungeon, mentioning that all B-rankers and above have been summoned to participate. Our hero examines the location, discovering it is quite close to his new residence. He inquires with his friends about the reason behind the evacuation order issued for just one gate. One of his friends explains the incident involving an A-rank gate fracture that occurred 5 years prior. As he travels to his new home, the hero poses a question to his friend about the possibility of being promoted to an S-ranker if he manages to resolve this issue. Jonho feigns surprise, noting that all his best friend seems to aspire to is achieving S-rank status. Within the confines of the gate, perilous bloodwolf monsters emerge. The hunters, acting as scouts, relay their locations to one another. Suddenly, they find themselves encircled by the menacing creatures. It is said that mankind was on a path toward destruction. This continued until the ether core, a miraculous resource dropped by monsters defeated in gates, becomes the new energy source for humanity. This is why the amount of ether cores needed to fuel aura equipment is believed to determine whether a raid is successful or not. Surrounded by threats, Dongchul advises everyone to use their ether cores to power up the aura gear. Meanwhile, to draw the raging wolf beasts away, Changshik uses his wide area aggro skill, despite his absolute hate for it. While the white-haired hero rallies the monsters behind him, Dongchul, supported by Heron, prepares to launch an attack. With his deadly skill fully charged, the jacked guy announces to his prey that the single-use skill costs over 1 billion ether cores. Bathed in lightning sparks, the S-rank hunter unleashes his ultimate skill Thunderbolt onto the ground. The lightning instantly incinerates all the beasts in a wide area, and then Heron's speed skill activates, supercharging all the hunters. With the newfound strength and morale, the hunters prepare to wipe out all the monsters. Meanwhile, the city outside lies in shambles. A group of Hongma stragglers gather, but one of their scouts warns that the police are coming, sending them all into a panic. As they run away, a curly-haired guy is stopped by a police car. Flashed by the intense headlights, the group hears a peculiar voice that tells them to surrender or face fake drug charges. The man draws his dagger, ready to fight or die. But to his surprise, an infamous hunter exits the car. He laughs at how the leaders of the Hongma clan look like crap, which irritates them. Looking better than ever, Jinchul invites them to join him. Watching a dead man reborn, their jaws drop. So with a smile on his stitched-up face, Jinchul offers the survivors a new purpose. Meanwhile, back at the gate, the raid seems to have ended. The hunters wonder if, for the first time in history, an A-rank gate has been cleared without casualties. While Heron heals his wounds, Dongchul laughs that he could have cleared countless gates if he had her healing skills. But Heron sighs and goes on a painfully long rant about how many pricey ether cores her skills consume. Hearing her ramble about the logistics, Dongchul's ears begin bleeding from her S-rank nagging skill. And of course, Changshik makes sure not to miss the hourly quota of hitting on her, making things awkward. Nearby, a hunter digs out a rare B-rank ether core from a corpse. Before the upper half of his body gets shredded to nothingness, his friends can only stare in bewilderment, seeing a majestic white wolf with 4 glowing eyes. On the outside, the atmosphere is filled with suspense. Experts on the news express their concerns. As the triple S-ranker team takes worryingly long to clear the gate, a news reporter announces that 10 hours have passed, prompting the association to send as many A-rankers as possible. Watching the news, the branch manager is annoyed that the World Hunter Association's backup hasn't arrived yet. As no one can enter the gate, they can only gather reserves outside and pray for the Dream Team's success. Meanwhile, inside the gate, the hunters initiate the fight with a rain of arrows on the giant beast. Completely unfazed, the beast rushes forward and raises its claw to wipe out the entire platoon. But the white-headed swordsman intercepts the attack just in time. He uses a skill, but the white beast's tough claws absorb the impact completely. Giving him no time to breathe, the beast swipes at Changshik once again. The raw force of its attack makes the S-ranker cough up blood. As it attempts to finish him off, Dongchul saves him just in time. Heron heals several cuts on Changshik's body, and as always, he acts on his urge to flirt with her. The Ocean Clan cutie tells him to stop messing around and focus on not wasting her last skill since she's run out of ether cores. Fully recovered, the White Knight rushes back into combat to cover Dongchul. With his full power strike, Korea's top hunter strikes the white behemoth down in one shot. Everyone begins to praise him, which annoys Dongchul, who is tired of the kid always stealing his glory. But suddenly, everyone's ears are pierced by a deafening noise. To everyone's dismay, a humanoid wolf appears and curses the hunters for daring to enter their world. Backed by countless white behemoths behind him, the hunters lose all morale. Zhengshik is left speechless, but Dongchul instructs everyone to gather hurriedly. The gate fractures, sending panic throughout the association and leaving the clerk lady and the branch manager in shock. They assume this indicates that the raiding team inside has been slaughtered. Despite losing all hope, the manager quickly commands his team to deploy the reserve units and urgently call all foreign hunters. Meanwhile, the wolf boss leads his army of giant wolf beasts and declares the start of a massacre. Near the gate, Captain Kihong gathers the reserve units. He reads out the strange clan names, feeling disappointed by the appearance of the B-rank weirdos. But finally, he names the Daesung clan. Upon seeing our hero, the captain instantly recognizes him as the A-ranker the president has been after. As the captain begins reading instructions, Daesung pouts, disappointed that his pal didn't show up or give him a call, before he realizes he was the one who didn't answer. Suddenly, a loud sound marking the gate fracture echoes throughout the city. This worries everyone, but the Demon King grins with excitement. Inside the gate, the corpses of the raiding team members lie among the dead wolf beasts. Despite the full resistance from the top-tier hunters, the sheer strength of the behemoths overpowers them. Dongchul does his best to save a hunter, shouting at him to get serious if he doesn't want to become dog food. Meanwhile, Korea's #1 hunter takes down the beasts one by one. Exhausted, he wonders how long Dongchul and the others can last. The scene flashes back to the past when Dongchul received an S-rank protection artifact. The branch manager shares that it is a priceless gift from the president, made with an S-rank ether core. As Dongchul worries about its expense, he is assured that the president views it as essential for the safety of his children, the hunters. So the manager makes him promise to bring them back alive. Pausing for a moment, the man jokes that the president should stop having kids and vows to protect the entire team. Returning to the raiding team inside the gate, he pulls out the artifact after confirming that everyone is gathered. As he places it on the ground, a giant barrier forms around the team, bouncing off all the wolf beasts that pounce on it. However, as Dongchul brags about the cutting-edge German technology, the wolf boss leaps into the sky and smashes its axe into the barrier. Seeing it wobble like jelly, the hunters panic, fearing it might break. Our badass S-ranker mocks the wolf boss for its futile attempt. When a concerned hunter asks what their next move is, he picks his nose and simply says they'll try the classic wait and see. The spiky-haired S-ranker brags that perseverance always works, even making Changshik and Haran unwilling witnesses to his claims. While the hunters feel lost, a suspicious hooded guy from Hans activates his artifact. Suddenly, a gate fracture appears out of nowhere. The fracture captures the wolf boss's attention. The unnatural occurrence leaves all the hunters in shock. Gazing through the gate at the human world, the king of the white wolves grins ominously, declaring that this time the monster raid team will hunt humanity. As this unfolds, the giant wolves invade Earth, tearing apart the weak infantry. True chaos erupts when the wolf boss lands in the city center. With a swing of his axe, the raw power of its shockwave blasts away all the soldiers holding the front line. Trying to scout the situation, the drones that approach are obliterated by the Wolf King's howl skill. This cuts off the visual feed to the association, infuriating the branch manager. At a loss for what to do, he confirms the monster's next target and orders his team to send in the reserve unit. Meanwhile, a familiar vlogger flies his drone and begins his livestream from a rooftop close to the gate. Yangchil dramatically talks on his stream, trying to cash in on the mysterious disaster. Even though the coward is far from danger, he brags about his fearlessness and dedication to his viewers. However, a giant wolf drooling on him quickly shatters his so-called courage. Seeing a mutilated hand drop from its mouth, the vlogger kid falls on his butt. The behemoth pounces on him, making him wail like a little girl. That is until our hero arrives to save the day and decapitates the white wolf. The vlogger kid turns to look at Daesung, who is decked out in epic gear from head to toe. My guy ignores him and goes straight for the big boss of the wolves. Surrounded by a pack of giant wolves, my guy taunts the Wolf King, calling the wolf army stray dogs that are making his home filthy. Enraged, the proud king of the wolves pounces on our protagonist. However, his destructive axe attack is easily blocked by the ruler of hell. In the meantime, at a shelter near the gate fracture, panicked civilians trying to get in open a certain live stream on their phones. Funnily enough, despite the association losing their drones, our vlogger kid manages to monopolize coverage of the disaster with his livestream. After hitting 1 million views, the greedy kid continues to stream without a care for his life. In the control room, the clerk lady opens the live stream on her phone and shows it to the manager, leaving everyone shocked to see our A-rank hunter facing off alone against the threat that overwhelmed 3 S-rankers. Returning to our hero in the center of it all, he casually watches the dogs assemble like Power Rangers. Suddenly, the big white dogs charge at him all at once. But at that moment, Daesung is furious and unleashes flames from his hellfire sword. roasting the wolves from the skin down. The irritated Wolf King extinguishes the fire with a swing of his axe. Finally living up to his title, the king withdraws his army and states that he will fight our hero one-on-one. Impressed by the monster's audacity, the ruler of hell tells him to get through his hell beasts first. Piercing the ground with his sword, immense energy begins radiating from Daesung. The Wolf King and the Vlogger Kid are both dumbfounded as a gigantic dragon materializes in the sky. But that's not all. Hearing its master call, more hell beasts begin to appear, scaring the crap out of the branch manager and the reserve team under Captain Ki Hong. Watching my guy backed up by his epic summons, the wolves can only growl in fear. Using the Wolf King's own words against him, our Demon King orders his slaves to destroy the others, while he takes on the big boss himself. Seeing the giant dragon descend, Captain Ki Hong and his unit approach Daesung's summons. As they watch the dragon maul the wolves with its claws, Ki Hong is left wondering if the majestic white beast is a friend or foe. The other two summons chase down the previously terrifying wolves as if they were little puppies, effortlessly hunting them down. Meanwhile at the shelter, civilians watching the Vlogger Kid's livestream are bewildered, witnessing monsters slaughter other monsters. In a moment of sheer confusion, the branch manager summons Chanho as a representative of the Daesung Guild. Not wasting a word to break the ice, he outright asks Daesung's pal to share details about the legend himself. In the meantime, the legend in question continues to talk trash to the Wolf King for fun. He approaches it menacingly, prompting the proud monster to unleash a powerful blow on him. But my guy easily blocks it and, with a scary grin, launches a flurry of his own attacks, overwhelming the proud dog. Impressed by its abilities, our hero commends the A-rank boss, who seemed like a barking dog with no bite. However, the proud boss monster suddenly starts doing gymnastics to break free from the Demon King. When the ruler of hell invites the Wolf King to make his next move, the dog curls its tail and begins dashing away at full speed. Our boy is left speechless, but it seems the Wolf King has realized that his immense power comes from the pandemonium. However, the Demon Lord doesn't let it end there. Catching up, he asks the dog why it's running on two legs. He kicks it like a bully, forcing the proud king to tumble like a puppy learning to walk. As if the humiliation isn't enough, he makes sure to prevent its escape. He commands his dragon to grab the dog, making the puppy stare with its jaw stuck open as giant talons graze it along the ground, giving it a good shave. Standing over the road-burned white pup, my guy gruesomely cuts it open to extract a core. Meanwhile, the three S-rankers also exit the gate fracture. Dongchul expresses his frustration upon finding no reinforcements. Haran does her best to save those still alive and urges the top two hunters of Korea to work together against the wolf boss. Dongchul takes off, leaving Haran alone. Suddenly she senses demonic energy and a tiny scream escapes her lips moments before a wolf leaps upon her. But of course no one would let the Ocean Clan's cutie die. The oversized dog's lopped-off head bounces away, cleanly sliced off by our knight in shining armor. Bake Haran is left staring in awe. But my guy, not even recognizing her, asks if she's a hunter or not. Bewildered to see the monster that Korea's #1 struggled against beaten in one shot, she is stunned. Speaking of the devil, Cheng-shik lunges at the man stealing his crush's heart. Of course, Daesung smoothly evades it. Both Haran and Dongchul call out Mr. Top Hunter for his strange antics. Yet the white-headed swordsman feels confused himself. Shocked to watch a seemingly random guy dodge his blade with ease, he says he mistook our boy for a monster. Upon hearing this, everyone takes a moment to ponder his words. Cheng-shik clarifies that of all the monster auras he has encountered, Daesung possesses the strongest. His detection skills impress our demon lord. Acknowledging one another, the two introduce themselves. With that, the disaster ends, and the scene shifts to a meeting of the S-ranks with the association president. Dongchul smiles, feeling glad that the president's expensive artifact saves many lives. However, Cheng-shik points out that they should focus more on the gate fracture. Still, Haran can't stop thinking about our abruptly awakened Demon King transforming from comatose to top G. Cho Hanyul, the masked S-ranker, remains silent, so the president presents his main purpose. Whether to promote Daesung to S-rank or not. Of course no one has any qualms about it, and Haran even jokes that the others can take more holidays if the president uses him instead. Cheng-shik acknowledges his power, adding that he achieves the unthinkable feat of clearing an A-rank gate solo. But the masked S-ranker finally speaks up, remarking that he is already far above S-rank. Meanwhile, on his newly viral channel, Vlogger Kid interviews the bald geezer, pretending to have a strong relationship with our guy. Whereas in the Daesung clan's main office, Chanho is amazed to see his pal's name trending on every video across the web. With that, the man of the hour walks into his office. Chanho greets him enthusiastically, like a true suck-up, making our guy wonder if his friend is high on something. Getting straight to business, Daesung asks his best friend the reason for the call. His pal reveals that they're going to get his brand new license. News anchors from all over gather outside the Hunters Association building, anxiously awaiting our hero's arrival. So, the man of the hour arrives with his best pal by his side. The girls in the crowd gush over our hero, and Chanho suggests they raise a hand for his fans. As soon as he merely lifts his hand, the ladies start screaming and begging him to marry them, leaving him at a loss for words. Inside the president's office, the graceful man expresses his gratitude for Daesung's services. Chanho laughs, mentioning that they are only doing their duty. With that, the president instructs his secretary to bring out the shiny new S-rank license. They stare in awe at the object most people never even get to see. Thus, the president congratulates our hero and offers him one demand that he will absolutely fulfill. Intrigued, our demon lord gets a genius idea to become a billionaire sitting at home. Confirming that anything goes, he mischievously grins and asks for unlimited access to all gates. This does not sit well with the clans, who are infuriated by him monopolizing all the gates. The president recalls Han Yul's advice, noting that they can't reject the most valuable hunter's conditions. Our guy humbly demands the right for his summons to solo gates. The graceful old man is baffled to hear that a single summon can clear a gate. The scene shifts to a goth girl, Ryu Seoyeon, browsing her computer. Seeing our protagonist all over the internet, the Fortress clan's Hell Witch becomes infatuated with him. Thinking she's found the one who can cure her, she shocks her father by leaving her room for the first time in 6 months. Seoyeon embarks on a search for her hero. Meanwhile, multiple representatives from the clans gang up on the branch manager like frustrated single mothers at a superstore. They complain that Daesung leaves no gates for the smaller clans, stealing their livelihoods. They stress that it's absolutely unfair. Watching this unfold, the manager, despite already expecting it, innocently asks what he can do for them. A solution arises to limit Daesung's attacks on high-rank gates and team up with them on A-rank ones. On the other hand, unaware of how many enemies he's made, our boy is busy losing games. Chanho repeatedly calls him, and he finally picks up. His best pal gives him an earful for not taking his calls, and our demon lord explains his extremely valuable preoccupation: gaming. But like a mother, Chanho instantly calls him out, forcing him to come to the clan building. Now in the clan office, his best friend tells our gamer about the complaints to adjust their gate monopoly. Chanho explains that the smaller guilds are going bankrupt thanks to Daesung's summons stealing their jobs, so the Daesung clan can only take B-rank gates. The association also puts a restriction on tackling A-rank gates unless allied with another clan. Satisfied with the fortune he's made, Daesung simply tells his buddy to only bid on A-rank gates. Chanho humbly brags that with only 2 members to split, he's also balling with cash, and even bought the clan building with his share. With a mischievous smile, our demon king tells his pal to only bid on the top-earning gates for maximum profit, impressing Chanho with his pro-business thinking. Switching up the conversation, he asks Chanho whether his gear has sold, but his best friend explains that it's hard to sell equipment that cannot use ether cores. Our boy, hoping to sell it and buy property for his family, wonders if it's possible to sell it somehow. Chanho tells him about Park Donghyuk, a legendary aura engineer. He adds that the man is an acquaintance of the Seoul clan leader, but Junyoung is unfortunately in prison, so that option is out. However, he recalls another person who might lead them to Donghyuk. The scene shifts to the Heart clan, using impressive teamwork to clear a C-rank gate now that our hero isn't sweeping every last one. But as they're about to leave, the leader spots some silhouettes approaching. It is none other than cheater number 14, who looks down upon the clan members. Grinning villainously, he orders his zombie squad to crush the hunters. Disturbed, the Heart clan members wonder if the attackers are human or not. Sensing intense danger, the leader shouts for everyone to prepare for a fight to the death. Yet moments later, their lifeless bodies lie scattered on the ground. Jincheol extracts the leader's aura and steals his appearance. The scene transitions to the new mansion of the Demon Lord, where his family is engrossed in a news broadcast. They learn that 12 individuals have been kidnapped, prompting his sister to jest about whether aliens are responsible for the abduction. Exhibiting the traits of a typical anxious mother, Daesung's mom expresses concern for her daughter's safety, advising her not to leave the apartment for a while. She then turns to her son, inquiring if he feels hungry. The Demon Lord, possessing a hearty appetite, requests that she brings him an abundance of meat. The scene shifts to an altar, where hearts are being roasted as if they are in an oven. The serial killer initiates a ritual alongside his minions. Jincheol steps forward, receiving a blessing from the killer. The resurrected cheater number 14 seeks nothing but vengeance against the hero, firmly believing that his newfound powers will aid him in achieving this goal. Next, the scene transitions to a child playing with a football. Suddenly a large hole opens up in the ocean, drawing his curiosity. His parents rush in, preventing him from approaching the dangerous opening. A crowd gathers, engaged in heated discussions about the unexpected appearance of a gate in such a peculiar location. The clerk lady receives the news and promptly reports it to the branch manager. The manager grows anxious, recognizing it as the most challenging maritime type A-ranked gate they have encountered to date. He inquires whether the clerk has sent requests to each clan for their cooperation. She informs him that all 5 top clans have placed bids, noting the unusual detail that all bids include the same conditions. To clarify the situation, it is revealed that Dongchul had recently visited Daesung's building to meet with his director, Jeonho. Dongchul presents a proposal, suggesting a joint raid on the gate. Suddenly Changshik enters and joins the discussion. Jeonho appears perplexed as he sees all these S-rankers arriving at his building unexpectedly. Upon noticing Dongchul, Changshik instigates a confrontation, reminding him that he had previously mentioned wanting to take a break from raids to spend time with children. Changshik presents the same proposal to Jeonho that Dongchul did, expressing his desire to jointly attack the aquatic gate. He even offers to cover all expenses related to information and other essential needs. Meanwhile, the Ocean Clan appears to share a similar mindset. In their briefing room, their leader, Haran, persuades her team that she wants to assist Daesung, feeling indebted to her for saving her life. Her team responds enthusiastically to this arrangement, showing no objections whatsoever. Meanwhile, similar discussions unfold at the Marvel Clan's headquarters. The vice captain engages in a heated argument with the captain over his decision to join forces with others to attack the gate. Captain Johan Ol responds that he wishes to meet Daesung, seeking to learn more about his abilities, which seem to surpass even S-rank. Returning to the hero, he is occupied with assigning guard duties to his shadow minions. He designates the top 2 minions to protect his family in his absence. The minions express their eagerness, vowing their lives to carry out this order without fail. As the Demon Lord steps out of the Pantheon, the Hell Witch Ryu Seoyan notices him and questions whether this portal is the source of his inexplicable strength. She introduces herself as the backbone of the Fortress Clan. However, Daesung refers to her as Fortress Kid and demands to know her business. She approaches the hero, staring intently into his face and asks for his assistance. As she draws closer, he instinctively pushes her away, only to discover that she transforms into a black magic doll. The hero contemplates whether she possesses ninja-like skills to achieve such a feat, but suddenly, he detects a demonic aura emanating from the doll, prompting him to wonder if there is any connection between them. In the following scene, the clans gather along the coast, preparing for the impending operation. They spot a flying dragon soaring toward them. As it draws nearer, Daesung descends from the dragon, landing gracefully before the assembled clans. While everyone marvels at the idea of riding a dragon, the hero feels irritated by the ride's quality. He spots the same ninja girl from earlier, cursing everyone and biting her finger in frustration. He approaches her, questioning whether she is also from hell. The Hell Witch, unsure of what he means, simply nods in agreement to whatever he says. Surprisingly, she feels a sense of positivity in his presence, and finds herself able to tune out the surrounding noise when he is near. She then requests that he stay with her in the gate. Before the Hell Witch can receive an answer, her longtime rival, Lady Haran, arrives on the scene. The animosity between them is evident from the Hell Witch's expression. They begin to clash, but their fight is abruptly halted as the hero unleashes an almost invisible wave attack to intervene. With the confrontation settled, it becomes time for them to proceed toward the gate. The Hell Witch, reluctant to leave the Demon Lord's side, insists on tagging along in his boat, which he finds quite annoying. The atmosphere grows tense, as the serial killer has just joined the fray, likely intending to interfere with the hero's plans, perhaps even targeting his brain. As the boats pass through the gate, the atmosphere thickens further, and dark clouds blanket the sky. Lady Haran activates her detection skill, which is renowned among the people for its effectiveness. She senses the approach of monsters and quickly readies everyone for an attack. However, instead of encountering hideous creatures, the hunters find themselves face to face with adorable little spirits, so charming that no one perceives them as a potential threat. Suddenly, they are struck by a massive wave of water, and a colossal Queen Giger monster emerges from beneath the ocean's surface. The mere sight of the terrifying creature sends most of the hunters into a state of panic. The monster unleashes countless tentacles, seizing control of the white spirits and using them to pull the hunters toward it. Fortunately for them, the hero draws his dagger and intervenes, saving them from certain doom. All he desires is to return home quickly, and the fastest way to accomplish this is by defeating the boss monster. Suddenly, the creature dives back into the depths and disappears from sight. Daesung, albeit reluctantly, turns to the Hell Witch, seeking her assistance in exchange for resolving her own dilemma. He assigns her the task of capturing the monster and luring it out from its hiding place. She promptly agrees to his request and sets off to fulfill her task. Meanwhile, the hero calls over the Ocean Clan leader, asking her to handle the flying monsters. Haran, initially confused by his words, soon looks up and spots a swarm of bugs descending upon them from the sky. As everyone engages in battle with the monsters, Jinchul busies himself with an evil scheme. He activates his stealth technique, going into hiding as he declares his mission to be the hunt for the hunters. The Hell Witch, having made her preparations, dives into the ocean, ready to prove herself. The scene transitions to a coffee shop where Cho-young has been invited by Chanho. Upon his arrival, he finds her already there, waiting ahead of time. They exchange formal introductions, establishing a courteous atmosphere. Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to the confrontation, where the Hell Witch employs her scent skill to draw the monster back to the surface. Daesung sprouts wings from his back and unsheathes his sword, dashing toward the beast. His system alerts him that his Flame King's breath skill has been modified, allowing the cloud of flames to precipitate. Without hesitation, he activates the skill, launching a massive ball of fire directly into the monster's mouth. The monster quickly snaps its mouth shut, wondering if it has captured something. Within seconds, blisters erupt across its body, culminating in a massive explosion. The Hell Witch, witnessing the spectacle, realizes that the hero exceeds her expectations. She shouts at him to uphold his part of the promise and fix her. Our hero responds, asking her to wait a little longer, as there are still some monsters remaining to deal with. Meanwhile, Hiren remains occupied, fending off the attacks of the sky monsters. She employs her aura skill to boost her team's morale and strength. At the same time, Jinchul's team readies their nefarious plan. Jinxial steps onto Hiren's boat, deciding first to eliminate the celebrity, before seeking his revenge against the hero. As Jinchul approaches Lady Hiren, he senses an ominous presence closing in on the boat. His anxiety spikes when he realizes it is Daesung. Irritated, the hero strides toward Lady Hiren's boat, questioning her about the status of her progress. Lady Hiren responds that she is doing her utmost to handle the situation. As Daesung nears her, Resurrected Cheater number 14 seizes the perfect opportunity to strike, aiming to kill him and finally exact his revenge. Just as Resurrected Cheater number 14 thinks this, the hero's Saju eyes activate, a skill that detects all hostile targets within a 1 kilometer radius. He switches to Scorching Flame mode, launching a fireball that targets not only the monsters but also Jinchul's team. Chaos ensues among the Ocean Clan as they find their comrades suddenly under attack. Hiren demands an explanation from the hero, but before he can respond, Jinchul materializes before them. The attack has neutralized his stealth skill, and he seethes with anger at the hero for the disruption. Hunters standing nearby stare at Jinchul, questioning his identity. Daesung asks him if he is a sea monster who somehow survived that day, but all the Resurrected Cheater seeks is revenge. He injects himself with a drug that envelops him in a dark aura. With a guttural cough, he spits out a black substance before diving into the sea. The nearby hunters quickly identify Jinchul as a member of the Hongma clan, but they are baffled by the fact that he was believed to have died at the testing site. Suddenly, a black fog engulfs their ship, obscuring the hunters' vision. Tentacles radiating an evil aura rise from the water, piercing through some of the hunters. As one tentacle reaches Lady Hiren, breaking her barrier, the hero reacts swiftly, catching it with his bare hand and saving her from harm. With his bare hand, the hero twists the tentacle, forcing the monster out of the sea with a howl of pain. Jinchul emerges as an S-class Geiger King monster, exuding confidence that he will finally achieve his revenge. Channeling all his strength, Jinchul unleashes a powerful attack aimed directly at the hero, eager to witness his demise. The scene shifts back to the coffee shop, where Chanho assures Cho-young that they are prepared to exhaust their last resources to save her director in exchange for her assistance. Eager to save her director, Cho-young inquires about the assistance they require from her. Cutting to the chase, Chanho asks if she can help them get in touch with Dr. Park Dong-hyuk. Cho-young responds that the doctor's whereabouts are highly confidential and suggests that he should discuss it directly with her director instead. Meanwhile, the monster has successfully knocked all the hunters into the water. Daesung contemplates using his special skill but hesitates, knowing that it could endanger everyone around him. Reluctantly, he allows Jinchul, now transformed into the Geiger King, to ensnare him in his tentacles. Jinchul launches a fierce attack aimed at the hero, determined to kill him this time. The Ocean Clan members stand petrified, but suddenly they spot the hero soaring above them, ready to confront the impending danger. Surprised, Hiren asks the hero how he managed such a feat. But Daesung warns her to stay clear of his attacks if she wants to survive. Dashing through the air, the hero activates his Extreme Fury skill, creating a blazing zone of fire. In an instant, Jinchul is blown away into smithereens, vowing that he will wait for the hero in hell. The crowd erupts in excitement and disbelief at the hero's unexpected victory. Suddenly, Daesung receives a notification regarding the existence of the haunts, and he gains new skills. Stealth and transformation, along with the ability to use ether aura,